Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will create Helsinki City minibus line 31, which is running around Munkkivuori and Haga. The minibus lines are service lines meant for elderly people who have difficulties perhaps moving along, and they will run on much smaller roads and then stop at stops aimed at, well, basically servicing people so that they will stop at institutions, at services, public services, and so on. Now, to create this line, we will have to create another stop here, which is called Munkkivuoren kirkko. Only these 30-something minibus lines serve these stations or stops. And starting from here, we will go to go to this roundabout, where it will also make its end a loop, and that also means that we will complete the roundabout here, meaning that we will need some additional connections and perhaps let's move that thing over there and then add signals here and there. From Munkkivuoren kirkko, the line will then run through here and connect with the existing line in this crossing there. I will then once again create the line and then start building the stops to see what else has to be done in here. Now, what else needs to be done in here is to create a turn in this direction. Okay, come on. There we go. So let's first build these blueprints and then create the line. And it's HSL line 31. The basic price is the same and the color is the usual blue. And then the starting and ending stops will be at Munkkivuoren kirkko. Then we'll stop at Kultareuna, so these buses also run among ordinary traffic. They sort of connect people from institutions to ordinary bus lines, which is also pretty helpful. And after Kultareuna, we turn right. It's a stop called Kangaspelontie. And now let me check what the stop is actually named in Swedish. So Kangaspelontie, Malmåkkarsvägen. There we go. Let's add additional signals in here. I probably wouldn't need this many, as only very few stops, very few lines run through these stops, but I will nevertheless do it. After Kangaspelontie, we'll turn all right back to the ordinary lines, and obviously the following stop will be at Talontie. So build the blueprints and then let's go back to the line editor and stop there at Kangaspelontie, then at Talontie, and then at Ruskeasuon Varikko. Is that so? That is so. After Ruskeasuon Varikko, we will skip the Hakamäenkuja part. There is a reason for that, and then we will turn left and stop at a stop called Kivihaankuja. Let's see. It is over here. Kivihaankuja Stenhagsgränden, and that stop is located over here. Right. And from Kivihaankuja, we will then stop at a stop called Kylänevan tie, Bymossvägen. There we go. From Kylänevan tie, we will then turn left and stop at Kivihaantie, Stenhagsvägen. It's actually a very, very long line. I mean, it runs a very short distance, but it will stop very intensively. I think I don't have to care about that. And then let's build the next stop, which is called. Oh, it's also called Hagan Tori, which means it connects with that stop. That's an interesting fact. Not a very surprising one, and learning from my mistakes, I will just first create everything around the stop, and then after that connect it with the other stop, because that makes kind of that allows me to avoid the issue of the extending stations, or not stations in this case, stops in this case. And then we delete the station and connect the stop with Hagantori, and for some strange reason it has decided to anyway extend the stop. So let's just... Oh, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, there is something I can do about it. There. And then, as it connects with the ordinary network, let's once again build the blueprints and move back to line editor. And get back to the line. Taking it from here and there, all the way through to there. And then we stop at Palokaivan Aukio. Okay, it's yes, that's correct. That's right. What happens next? After Palokaivan Aukio, it turns right immediately to stop called Sankaritie, Hjältevägen. So, oops. So we go here. I will once again have to make a pretty strange turn because I have accidentally misplaced the stop there. And from Sankaritie we want to stop at Matkamiehen tie, Färdemannavägen. There we go. And after Matkamiehen tie, we will then take a left turn towards a stop called Ryytimaankuja Kryddkoskrent, which is over here. Let's put in tunnel below the railroad over there. I don't know what the right order of them sort of on top of each other is. But let's put it this way this time. And then let's see where we should be heading on to next. Oskelantie. Okay, what's Oskelantie? Oskelsvägen. And it's located right over there. After Oskelantie, the following stop is called Tunnelitie. Okay, so there will be another stop called Tunnelitie, which is over here. I will not merge these stops, or well, actually, yes, I will. No, this time I won't. They can remain separate. There we go. And then we're once again connected with the rest of the bus network. Let me see. There, build the blueprints. But could I actually, after creating the blueprints, go back and delete the station? Aha, now it does not cause any issue. It does. Fuck you! I mean, really, what is the sense in this? This is a real issue. Every time you try to merge the stops with another stop, You create a massively long platform for nothing. It's a bug. But yeah, let's go back to lines. So, Sankaritie, Matkamiehen tie, Riitimen kuja, Oskelan tie, Tunnelitie. Then we obviously stop at Mäkipelän aukio, which is correct. And Haagan ammattikoulu. And then after that we take another right turn and stop at Haagan terveysasema. Right. Haaga Hälsö station. The stop is actually on the loop, but I will not put it there. I will just place it here to avoid useless issues. Then we will stop at the Santavuoren tie in Santavuorivägen in here. And then we'll move on to wait, what? So there are two stops called Teuvo Pakkalantie. The other one is at the end of Teuvo Pakkalantie and the other one is on Teuvo Pakkalantie. So I think we'll just make things easy now in order to avoid confusion and make one stop called Teuvo Pakkalantie. Right. I think that is a very reasonable thing to do in here. It's a very tight turn, can't be made by too many buses at the same time. I hope there will be no need to make it with too many buses at the same time. So there, and build all of the blueprints, and once again let's add it to line. So, oops, nope, that's not the case. So we'll stop at the healthcare station and at Santavuoren tie, at Teuvo Pakkalan tie, at is that Ilkan tie, and then we'll turn right to Thaalianaukio. From Thaalianaukio, we'll stop at okay, what happens there? Okay, yeah, we'll stop at Ida Albertin tie. Then we'll stop at näyttelijän ja skådespelaren. Wait. No. Ugh. These are not my favorites. We will stop at näyttelijän ja skådespelaren over here. And then at Ida Albertintie 1. How do you spell that? Then we will merge these lines or these stops with the rest of the line and then create the double crossing into here and from. No, don't do that. Okay, so I will have to create it that way in order for it to work. Again, interesting operation by the game, but fine, I accept your mistakes. So there, and there, and there. That's more like it. Then from Ida Albertintie to näyttelijäntie 22 and näyttelijäntie. Then we go to a place in here called Laulukuja. So this is actually, this part of the line is serving a shopping center. Laulukuja Sånggränden. Let's place it right here. Sorry about that. And then let's go on with the tracks and make a turn like that. Then we shall add some signals and a nice little loop. Okay, so you cannot be looping that way, I see. What about going through a loop like that? Wonderful. This is accepted. Excellent. And then let's build this little loop here, and then from näyttelijäntie we will loop it through there, and then we'll continue straight and stop again at näyttelijäntie. What is this? And then Lassila and Pohjoishaakan asema. Except that there is another stop for Pohjoishaaga. And oh no, not that way. Let me think. Well, let's do it this way. One of the stupidest solutions I have actually managed to create in this game. There. And then let's just go on with... Nope, let's just go on with this track from through here. And then, oops, no tunnels. No, oh, wait, what? Like this. Like that. Great. Let's go back to the signals. Put one over there. And now I think this shit should run smooth. Oh, fuck, I forgot one thing. I forgot one important thing. And that important thing is that the Pohjois-Hagan asema platform will be in here, and this does not merit for a long platform here. And then we connect it with this track here. Now the signals should be put to the right place, which is over there before the turn, and then just before the short station part. And actually, if I can still... No, I probably can't do it anymore, because... No, yes, I can do it. Let's give the station something to cheer about. Let's move these signals to a bit bigger intervals. There. two more stops. Killinkipolku, which is of course Skillingsstigen. There we go. So there is social work for disabled located in here. And then let's connect that with the rest of the track, and then finally the terminus. And the terminus is called Hopeatien palvelutalo, and that is Silvervägen servicehem. There. So the first of these intense regional minibus lines is almost ready. Just what is missing is the small loop at the end of the tracks, or the end of the road. There. Now let's see how I will be able to orienteer back to the start of the line. Or first I will of course have to connect the line with the terminus, so we're going there. We're going there, we're going there, and then let's head back. We can use... that's not right. We can use this loop in here. We'll just have to move some signals. There. And there. And now let's go back to the lines. And it'll stop there, and then we'll go back to Lassila. Yes, now it should work. To Näyttelijäntie, go and do that loop over there, and then over here. What a mess. And then all the way to... Let's see. There, and back here. And then what? The stop is... Okay, yes, agreed. It actually seems that I did it. I still can't wait to see how the line functions. Oops, that's not what I was wanting to do. I was wanting to see the timetable. And it runs every, let's make it 1 hour's interval. In order to buy the right bus for that, I will have to go back. And I will have to clone the, like I said, the bus I am using is, or the base I am using is Citroën Jumper. But as I want to pretend life to be the 1980s aesthetic, I will pretend that it's a Mercedes-Benz box-shaped bus. There. The line is ready, the line is created, and we can finally move on. In the following video, we will go on with these interesting and fun to create minibus lines. But until then, bye!